are back. Week 2 of the MLS season is done. We are here for episode 3 of Blood, Sweat, and Beers, the official Dallas Beer Guardians podcast. We're coming back off of our boys getting a 3-3 draw at Colorado. How are we feeling about it?
Yeah.
In the moment,
yeah,
or removed from it.
Well, let's do a quick little recap of the game. Let's run through. Let's at least run through the goals real quick. So Colorado started out hot, got the first one off in the 6th minute. Keegan Rosenberry with that cross shot. I don't really know what we had there. Right? It looked like it was an attempt on a cross, but it turned into a goal. Kind of a unlucky swing there, but a great line nonetheless.
Yeah, I thought it was a deflection off Shaq, but it looked like he just mishit it and went right over Paz's head.
Yeah, I mean, those just kind of happen every now and then, unfortunately, I feel like.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I mean, that sucks, but
yeah, for that one, I can't really kind of fault with anyone. That was just Paz was a little off his line, and it just, it happened.
Yeah, just a couple guys just slightly out of place, and so really great swing of the ball too. Can't take that away from Rosenberry. But 39th minute comes around, and we got Rafael Navarro coming off a little tap in there, and it is now 0-2 Colorado, and we were definitely drowning on our beers there a bit. I think I think that's when we started ordering shots. That was me.
That was mostly you for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the whole bar, at least where we were at, like the mood sank real down. Everybody got really quiet. Probably the quietest I heard it all night. But like at the same time, I know we're only 2 games into Quill, but I at least didn't feel like we were out at that point. I did actually kind of have some energy and belief that the team would come around, which I don't know. I felt like I never had that the last season.
I mean, we saw the stat. We haven't won there since 2014,
right?
Which is terrible. And
that's rough.
Our team's not great on the road, at least past.
Well, we're already way better on the road this year than we were.
Yeah, we already have a win.
4 points coming back.
Mm-hmm. So as far as the game goes, I think, like Hebert said, in the moment it was devastating. 2 down, relatively early on. They weren't like spectacular goals on their part. It was just us not doing what we needed to do.
Yeah.
But I think after the first game, I think there was some hope that, hey, the mentality is a little different. We definitely have the offensive firepower, has been proven in this game. So
absolutely.
Maybe
43rd minute comes around and Pedrinho opens his Major League Soccer account after they disrespected him on the broadcast and showed the wrong photo and did not use the correct name.
Game in a row. I don't know what's going on.
Stuff's wild. It's like how long it took them to even start calling Nkosi Tafari instead of Burgess.
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see that. It took a little bit of the sting off things, which was nice.
Although that said, we were supposed to be 1-0 because he had a wide open header on the back post.
To be fair, yeah.
So he did redeem himself for sure, and that's the important bit.
He definitely showed his age at times this whole game, right? We were talking.
Yeah, there was. We'll talk about that later when we talk about the Bernie sub. But at least with him, he is going to do a thing. It might not always come off, but he's going to do the thing. So that's the thing about youth, is that you don't know what you don't know, so you'll just do something. And
so second game, second appearance, first start, first goal. You can't really ask for much more of that out of a kid coming up out of the academy system, coming up through the ranks in North Texas, winning the chip down there, and here we are.
He has those moments of magic, man. He just has them every now and then, and they're wonderful.
Yeah. There is definitely some flashes of greatness there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what his career looks like in the next couple of years, and frankly this year too.
Brazilians.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 43rd minute, and then just before we call for stoppage time, the 45th, we got the little Musa Lucho 1-2-1-2, and Lucho opens his account there, and all of a sudden we're tied up, and we're going in a half all even up.
I mean, is that not the just best goal like you've seen in the last season or so for FC Dallas?
Magic, absolute
coming together,
magical,
holy
magical.
I feel like I haven't seen that since Pepe and Zeus were hooking up.
Yeah, I mean,
at least on our team.
Yeah,
but
for
maybe
sure.
I'm being cynic
So
over the last few.
as we're going over this, I'm rewatching the highlights of each goal, and I did something change in Musa where he decided to be a facilitator this season because
My God,
first
that
goal
pass! Holy
on the
cow!
first goal it was him a quick pass back to Julio, who
Yeah.
then took a deflective shot that left almost wide open net. He could have skied that ball, but he got it in the back of the net. We'll take it. And then on the second goal, like I was joking in the bar, it's like we pay y'all to do the opposite of that. I need y'all to switch positions, but it doesn't really matter as long as it turns out the way we need it to.
I mean, to be fair, Lucho's been a goal scorer a good chunk of his career too, and I think he's played as the striker for teams before.
Yes, he has.
I think the main thing is we're seeing what I don't remember who had been talking about it. Maybe it was Steve Davis or someone that like this front three will probably be flipping and moving around a lot, and I'm guessing that also includes Lucho then.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the front four will be just fluid, moving around in positions. Man, the pass though, I mean, it was cool to see the give and go, but what really blew my mind, if I'm being honest, was Musa's pass. Holy cow.
Yeah,
I'm actually watching it again right now too. Yeah, that little back heel by Lucho, and then a little 1-2 there, a little just back and forth motion there. It was really clean.
Yeah. I don't have
really
anything
easy.
special to say about it other than like I was blown away, and it's cool to see that happening.
I mean, it was good hold up play by Musa. Then they tried to foul Acosta in the middle. He fought through it, and it was one of those things where we saw it in the first game and it didn't necessarily come off.
Right.
Where they tried to do the 1-2, and again, we said it at the time that with minutes and time, it'll definitely come off. That's one of those, like, you can see it at multiple times throughout the game where they think the teammate is going to make the run, so they make that pass, and then no one's over there.
Right.
But between the both of them, it seems like have a better understanding.
Yeah, they're already starting to click. And then again, game 2, right?
Yep, for sure.
Definitely saw plenty of chemistry problems across the field still, though. That's for sure.
Yes. Mostly in defense, which we will definitely get
Oh, boy.
So the tying goal, I mean, I think that's really the big issue. That's the defensive. I heard on other podcasts that we can see after rewatching as well that it was definitely a missed run, because that's where the 6 would have covered. I personally thought Ibeagha should have definitely stepped out and tried to cover that run. So I don't know. It was, again, recapping what we talked about while we were watching it live at our town hall, at Derbyshire, which was awesome. Great turnout.
Yeah, shout out Derbyshire. Excellent staff. The whole crew over there was amazing. If you guys haven't been there yet, definitely take a ride up there. Derbyshire, Frisco Square.
Yeah, the wings were fantastic. Just ask Dennis. He went back for second.
Wings. Try the house sauce on the wings. Highly recommend it.
Yes. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think we all know we still need a defensive mid. I think Romero is definitely minutes constricted at the moment, like 60 minutes, and
even if he gets to full 90 health, like we don't want to run into the ground.
That's true. We don't want to do it, Mendy. But that being said, they tried to park the bus entirely too early, in my opinion. We had Musa playing right back for a little. Like, I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, he was way too far back. I was sitting next to you when we saw that. And, he was way too far back. But Musa took the lead in the 68th with a nice little flick in, and then Colorado came back in the 72nd minute. Navarro got his second, and now we're back at 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Musa goal.
The Musa goal.
It came off chaos, bouncing around in the box, right? You get a lot of goals that way. His instinct to get to the right spot was phenomenal. But I want to talk about how ice cold he just put that thing in. No problem. Like, there was no emotion. It was just, I'm just going to, there it is. It was cool to see the killer instinct.
Oh, well, we know he had that.
Yeah, it was nice to see it on display. It just gives you hope that he could just pop one in anywhere in that box.
I wanted to give my man Siki his props.
Yes.
Really hustling. Definitely got the deflection off that because the defender could have cleared it. I don't know. It's just I'm glad a lot of kids are getting. I'm glad the people who I enjoy watching are getting shot early. I'm glad Quill is not sticking to his ways because I think we all discussed whether or not he would have swapped out Bernie for the starting lineup.
Right.
He did. So at least he has an understanding of, hey, if there's an issue in the team, I'm not going to do the old if you win you keep your spot type thing.
Yeah, we don't play favorites.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, if you win, we can do it again. And I'm like, if we won, but it wasn't because of you, your spot should not be guaranteed, in my opinion. So
And it seems like every spot is going to be open every game, and if you step up and you show and you perform, Quill's going to put you in that spot.
Yeah, now it'll be interesting to see if going forward that continues to be the case. If your Lucho or Musa has a rough game or something, but
well, no, we don't. No, but yeah. Good try though. But no,
I'm not expecting it. But
yeah.
The offensive bench is got some depth. I mean, you got Farrington coming on, and we can probably spend an entire hour talking about what happened there. But we've got.
You want to talk about the subs right quick?
Sure. We've got. Let's check the sub list. We've got. I just had it up a second ago. 61st minute. You got Siki and Bernie coming on for Ramiro and Pedrinho, which I think are both decent choices, especially that 61st. It seems like Ramiro is definitely on a 60-minute time restriction right now, which is, again, this guy's not 100%. We talked about that in depth last week, but like you said, Siki came on, Siki showed out, and he looked good over there as a 30-minute midfielder. It'd be nice to see what happens with some more depth at that spot, though.
Yeah, I like that Siki's coming on. I like how much energy he brings every time, but like Marcus was talking about parking the bus, he's not your park the bus guy, right? Like,
no, he's the park the bus guy because you need someone to be a relief valve, but he's not a 6.
Yeah, and that's my concern, right? He played 6 though, right?
Which makes
on the bus,
the Gremio sign or the U13 Gremio signing more
U13.
Yeah. Or U22. He's definitely a U22 initiative. But yeah, it makes that signing, if it comes true, make more sense. We need a 6.
Yeah. It's hard for me to be pissy at anything that Siki does as a 6.
Yeah.
Because like it's clearly not his role. Like that sucks to be put in that position. And I hope they don't hold it against him when he fails at that. Like
is Show injured? Like I haven't
Show was on the it was on the recovery report.
He showed up and didn't even practice right this offseason due to illness, and we haven't heard anything other than his illness.
That's right.
So is this one of those instances where we call Santi back, who we loaned out to New Mexico somewhere? I don't remember.
Well,
championship.
Show's loan was only through June as well, so his
so
loan ends in June, and so I don't unless he starts doing something in the next couple of weeks. I think that might be. I think the show might be over here.
I mean, I guess I don't hate the idea of Show being here as a backup. If he actually shows up and he doesn't cost a ton of money on that loan. For some reason, I thought they had bought him. I guess I was wrong.
No,
I keep confusing him and Delgado. So,
that's the thing. Where was Delgado? Isn't he? I mean, he considers himself a 10, but I think if you're parking the bus, I would have probably put Delgado into the seat.
I mean, he literally wears the number 6, so
So
you can consider yourself a 10 all you want. The club absolutely sees him as a 6 if they're going to give him that number.
Yeah. So,
fair.
but I think this game shows we obviously need a Ramiro backup, someone younger. I'd prefer 25-ish, not 19. Because signing a 19-year-old to me feels like a North Texas signing.
Yeah, because eventually, if the 19's your backup, he's going to have to start some games.
Yes, especially
and they might be big games down the road.
So. But I think we can just review the game right quick, giving some grades. I think.
Wait, let's talk Bernie real quick though, because we brought up the subs here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Bernie.
I like Bernie more as a sub coming on with his burst of energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he at least got a threatening shot off. The one hit the wood.
No, that was a save. Almost snuck.
Oh, was it a save? I thought it hit the post. My bad. Either way, he forced some serious action. I like to see that. I like that he took a chance there. I think Bernie looked better this game than the last game. It's still the things that I think we were talking about before. Maybe it was at the bar. I don't remember. We need him to just try to execute things.
Yeah,
he needs to get out of his head. Maybe.
Yeah, indecisive. I think he's running into the Dante Sealy thing, where his first move doesn't really beat professional,
right?
And he's like, I don't know what else to do, and I'm like, well, figure out a second move.
Right.
do the Musa thing where it's a 1-2 pass. Like there are ways to execute that aren't run past someone who's as fast as you, or at least positionally aware, right? I might not be as athletic as you, but if I know where to put my body, you can't pass, right? And then there's the whole, like, when he took that shot, we were all yelling, like, hey, just take a shot. And he did it. And if it had gone in, I think it would have reinforced that in his brain, like, oh, maybe I should just do,
Right.
Like, I think Hubert's the one that says, like, some of Zeus's best goals were just one time, no thinking involved.
He just did it.
Yeah, it's just like,
it's instinct.
Yes. And maybe Bernie doesn't have that. Maybe he just needs to start banging in some goals and we all become more confident.
Yeah, maybe
I think that's what it is. I think he just needs one to get loose, right? He just needs to get one, and I think he like we just said. I think he needs to get out of his own head, right? And I blame Nico for some of that. I think Nico maybe tried to get him to do some things that maybe weren't in his wheelhouse, and tried to get him to play a little bit more complex of a game than really is Bernie's style. Like you said, Bernie's a burst of energy. He's chaos, and he should just be out there, run with the ball as fast as you can, and just put it on target. Just keep doing that. And if you look at Bernie's early tapes, that's what you saw a lot of, right? It's just a lot of speed, a lot of extreme bursts, and just hammering the ball at the goal, right? And you make 4 or 5 shots on target, one of them's going to get in, and especially in this league, right? We're not talking about the greatest goalkeepers of all time across this league, right? So you get a couple in the right spot, and you'll just get it in. And I think that's really Bernie just needs to break out. He just needs to break out this season and get one going.
For sure.
Yeah. And let's not be too mean to Nico, because he's going to be doing us some favors down south, it looks like. So
Fair enough.
Good luck.
Yeah, man. So what do you guys think about the starting lineup? I think there was only the one change with Pedrinho.
Yeah, the one change was just Pedrinho coming in for Bernie over last week. Other than that, the lineup remained exactly the same. We want to get into a little 3 up, 3 down like we did last week.
So I think that might be the rotation, you think, where they only change out Bernie, Pedrinho, and Logan?
I mean, at some point we got to see Leo Chu, right?
Well,
yeah, Leo Chu was on the recovery report this week too, so he was.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Okay, yeah, I was wondering why we saw him or Pedrinho more before we even saw Chu.
And I think, like we talked about, I think we'll see Abubakar come in and rotate through center back at some point too. I think just to give.
Okay, who's on the injury report this week, or who was besides the obvious?
It was Paxton, Chu, and Show were the only 3 on the injury report, and Giovanni Jesus is on IR now as of last week, so we won't see him for the rest of the season.
All right. So in a game where they knocked out, where we let in 3 goals, we have to talk about the center.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think. All right. I'm trying not to dogpile on Iggy, but it's. I don't get it. Like, I think we saw some good things. Me and Dennis spoke about it, where it seems like he's the stay-at-home center back, and they allow what nickname did we decide on for number 3?
The Wizard of Oz.
I'm just gonna call him Oz.
All right. So they let Oz, who's more athletic and more sure-footed, although there were 1 or 2 times where he dribbled into traffic.
Ooh, he did a couple of dribbles that freaked me out. Yes.
Yeah. And
the guy got some balls this game.
That's a fact. But Colorado is good at set piece goals, so corner kicks, crosses, and we're bad at set piece goals. So I think that's what we ran into this game, right? Almost all 3 of the goals, if I'm not mistaken, were wing, cross, goal.
Oh, were they really? I had
except for the last one.
I think the 3rd one was a little bit more direct up the middle.
Yeah, because that one was a Shaq didn't step out in time. They made a pass down the middle, and then Siki was slow to follow his man. Ibi didn't come out. And
I got nothing nice to say about that goal. They are for our team. They shredded us with that passing.
Yeah,
we saw that happen in Houston at one point too.
Yes.
They just dribbled around us like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of painful to watch.
It was. And so what are your guys' opinions second time around for Oz and Iggy?
I think there's still some work to be done in the back. I do want to see Abubakar get in this rotation at some point. I think last week we saw a little bit more of a failure on the left side between Farfan and Oz, and I think there was a little bit of lack of communication there. I think this week the communication was kind of broken down a little bit between all of the back line, but Oz and Ibi just kind of breaking up in the back line. And then, Shaq, like we talked about last week too, Shaq is an offensive right back. He's going to be up top more often than not, right? We're going to see him up playing past that center line more often than not. So guys got to cover and they got to communicate. And if Sigi's going to be the guy, if he's going to be the 6 or Ramiro's going to be the 6, that 6 needs to know to get back and cover that corner if your right back's going to be all the way up in an offensive position. So again, I think it's that cohesion, that communication that is ideally going to come with time, but not a lot to from week to week so far. Not a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2 so far, in my opinion, on that back.
Yeah, I certainly don't think our defense is anything to write home about. I think there's a couple of pieces that we're going to be able to work with going forward. But, man, we've played against 2 really good attacking midfielders the last 2 weeks, right? Mihailovic and who's the guy in Houston? Is it McGlynn?
McGlynn, yeah.
Anyway, the way that they just kept driving, the way they recycle the ball back in, I don't know, man. It's watching those superstars. I'm curious how it'll be against a more average midfielder, although I'm not trying to build my season around a defense that can hold an average guy down. But
I mean, when half the league goes into the playoffs, that's really all you need to ask for, right?
I mean, I guess you're right.
Yeah, but the schedule only gets tougher as the season goes on here, right? We've got to get our points here early, and we've got to stay on top of this because we got a chunk of this spring and summer where it's going to be a difficult road for back to back weeks.
Yeah. I did also, since we're talking about the defense, I think we've all pretty much said what we want to about the center backs at this point. I think we all kind of agree that a big part of it is chemistry, at least right now. We'll see if that changes. But there was at least a 5-minute run of play. I think I was watching with Marcus at this point when from a corner kick, and I get it, tactics, positioning people differently is weird. I'm not a coach. We had like 4 different players play left back in a span of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was very confusing. I assume it was positioning because of the corner kick that they had just taken.
Yeah.
But I think it was Leggett, Marco, Shaq Moore was over there at one point, and Ramiro got over there at one point. Just 5-minute span of what's going on that side. I
think it was coming out of a corner because even Farfan was over on. I'm like, wait, why is Farfan?
Yeah, they had flipped, which was interesting.
That's so coming out of a corner, that's difficult. So it was understandable, but there were positions where like, why is Musa playing like right above?
Musa's been coming way back.
Right
now, granted, it's working.
He only does that after he scores. So he's like, I got my goal. We're good.
I did my job.
Yeah, we're back here now.
Which real quick,
at least
Musa is on pace for 68 goal involvements this season.
Oh,
jeez.
If he gets an assist and a goal every other game, we're good to go.
How are we feeling about our Golden Boot predictions now?
I think he hits 20, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think this year, with the amount of star power we have, 20. Because didn't Bradley Wright Phillips win one year with like 27, and then so that's about the average. I think 27-ish is about what gets you Golden Boot.
Yeah. All right. We also haven't talked about Logan yet.
We have not. So Logan Farrington comes on in. He came on in the 76th minute, replacing Anderson Julio, who had a good game. We didn't really see much out of him, but I think he was positionally in the right place at the right time a lot of times. And
I think he got that assist on Perginos, right?
He did.
Yeah, I think he got these. I mean, he fights for every run, and his speed is clearly helping. I feel like at minimum he challenges his side the whole game that he's in.
For sure.
They keep an eye on him.
So we got Logan coming on at 76, and within a few minutes he is really getting active here. And look, we could talk about this for, like I said, we could talk about this for an hour, and we'll get into the offside and where the line was and the controversy that's picking up in the conversation there.
So that's why you wore the shirt? Okay.
Absolutely wore that. I love it. It's great. But can we talk about the finish for just a second? That was an
fantastic.
absolute class finish
Yes.
from Logan. This is a kid who's second year in the league. Let me remind you.
Holy cow. The confidence to take it on. I mean, everything about that was wonderful.
See, this is the part where I wish my button worked, where I can do the applause thing, but you know.
Oh man. I
Guys,
am
come to a
loving-
tailgate, donate some money to DBG so we can upgrade our podcast studio.
studio.
But the thing, it would be
Yeah, that was
We'll see if
like
it comes
wet
out
fart.
in the
I don't know
audio.
what to tell you.
Didn't even come through.
You
Yeah.
didn't? Oh, there it
Logan as a super sub has been so much fun. Is that how you guys want to see him play it all season, or at this
Maybe.
point, or
I mean, I love seeing him come on as a super sub, get minutes, and just have that, again, like we just talked about Bernie, having that burst of energy late in the game it's a big game changer, right? And I think that's what coach wants to see out of him. But I'd like to see him get some minutes with the first team as well. I'd like to really to see him get some starting minutes. I'd like to see him play wing a little bit, maybe move around a little bit. Maybe you start him at wing, you bring on Julio late, and then maybe you move him.
swap him over?
Yeah, you move him the other side, or you want to take Musa off for a few minutes, give Musa some time off, let him slide into that spot. Hell, you want to take Lucho off and slide him back in the 10 role for a couple of minutes too towards the end of a game. I'd really like to see him get around. I feel like Logan can play at least a good 15, 20 minutes at any one of those front four spots.
Yeah, last year, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I kind of felt that there were a few games where he came in as striker for Musa, and he kind of felt like a super sub then too.
Yep.
I love him at that late game energy with that burst he has. Like, I'm confident that he could start anytime we.
He
need to
started a few games
rotate-
for Musa, didn't he?
Yeah,
Musa
we
was
can
injured last
rotate the
year, right?
lineup with him, and that's great. And maybe it's going to end up being a game-to-game situation where, depending on who needs to be rotated or what's going on next week or middle of the week game or something, that the game plan might be he's going to be our super sub or he's going to be our starter or whatever. So that might be a game-to-game thing. I don't know. I don't know what Quill's game plans are on that.
Yeah, and again, you're going to want to see. I mean, not that Musa's not going to start as many games as possible, but this Texas Heat gets to these guys, and we want to see him get some rest too, right? We're going to want to rest him up, and we got U.S. Open Cup at some point too. We might see Logan there.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
Logan's going to shine. I think Musa only missed one game because of the birth of his child, and I think one other game last season.
Yeah, he was surprisingly resilient, actually,
So,
even through the heat, which is crazy.
yeah, he came here with the understanding that he was the man, so he wants to play.
Yeah, I mean,
he plays. So
I'm here for that, and I'm okay with it. More consistency in a lineup is always good, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You think then they might give Logan a run at Open Cup games? Maybe
Yes,
this
I think
will be
that's where
Logan's
he's-
team for that.
yeah, I think he's. I think that's where he's going to get his. To be honest, I think if he's going to start, it's going to be on the wing. He's not going to replace Musa. So,
Yeah, I think so.
which is fine because we can see that Musa is willing to step back and play a false nine. So if Logan wants to go up top and is willing
Yeah.
to do the work, because clearly Quill wants to do pressure, pressure on the ball.
Keep in mind those Wednesday, Saturday rotations that come up this as the season goes on too, right? We're gonna see some spots where Quill just wants to rest some guys on a Wednesday night or something, right?
I mean, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, every player up front's playing every position up front. So, even if Logan's coming in on the wing and playing wing, he's moving into the middle plenty of times. That I kind of don't care where you play him as long as he's getting the touches up there at this point.
Fair enough.
Agree.
At least that's how I feel.
So I think we're going to say man of the match is the guy with the goal and assists, or the rookie with his first goal and his first start, or
I
who
mean,
we give
for-
a man of the match to?
For me, it's either Lucho or Musa.
Yeah.
Lucho, because I think a lot of the stuff came from him actually having things come off this game and
Yes.
work out. But I got to give it to the goal and assist, I think, especially your second game with a goal and assist. For me, it's Musa.
Yeah, I'm going Musa too. I mean, he's got a goal and an assist 2 games, and I mean every time I post the little Musa gif on Twitter, it gets a ton of engagement. So we're going Musa.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He at least had a couple of key passes later too, right? Which was the time that Sebastian Lletget had the shot. Was that Musa's pass as well, or was that Lucho? I can't remember.
Wait, I think it
It
was
was
Some
It was
numbers
late.
from the Moose. We had 56 touches, 2 out of 3 shots on target, 5 progressive passes, 10 progressive receptions, 6 recoveries, 1 assist, 85% passing from Musa.
for a striker, 85%
Yeah.
for a striker.
And the progressive passes there too. Holy cow. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think I think I think his mindset is I'm here to get goals, but once I get the goal, we're gonna start passing the ball around.
I mean,
And
that's fine with me.
he's proven to be an effective passer of the ball. So if we have
The
two
Musa
guys-
Lucho connection is going to be fun to watch this year. And I think I said those exact words a week ago, but it is going to get better as these guys start to gel. And I think we're going to see some, can we call him Lucho? Can we call him Musa Lucho? Mucho?
so actually Julio
I hate
actually
it,
had
but sure.
Julio actually had a run on goal again this game from a pass from Musa where he was back. So I think that's another connection that I think they're working on too, where Musa will fall back and just tell Julio to run. And we haven't had a guy, except for Obrian, but at least we have someone now with brains who can make that run.
No donkey
Because
touch.
Obrian would do the exact same thing, like, hey, just go run, but he would know what to do right at the very end. So I think it was a beautiful game. Beautiful goal, stressful game.
It was fun.
Yes.
It was absolutely fun to watch. And I think that's what we said we expect out of Quill this season, right? They may not all be, winners. They may not all be excellent games, but it's sure as hell going to be fun to watch. And
Next game's going to be so fun at home.
We got 90 minutes of FU football, right?
Never
So
give
again,
up.
so
Never
before,
surrender.
Before we move on to, I guess, 24-hour preparation, again, I'm going to ask how you guys feel after 2 games.
I'm excited that we're bringing 4 points home before we even touch the field at Toyota. I am ready to go. We got 4 points. It should have been 6. We can talk about this in depth again, but I really think that I would have liked to see VAR review that goal, but I do think he was onside. It was very close. The flag should have stayed down. That goal should have counted, and I think it should have been reviewed. And I think they should have got the points. And I think we left 2 points on the table there. That was not our fault. But coming home with 4 points and 2 road games to start the season, 3 of those at Houston, you really can't ask for more.
I agree.
Yeah, I can't be mad about any game that we put 3 in the net, but there was definitely 2 or 3 other chances that maybe we could have executed slightly better to get it back. So, the offsides goal, it's the one you think about. But at the same time, the referees, VAR, they give and they take away. It's the nature of the game, which, it's a thing a lot of people love and hate about the game. Yeah. But
it's one of the things that you can't really be mad at the refs.
It's hard in the moment.
I can.
We can be mad at the refs.
In the Houston game, that Musa tackle should have probably been a foul.
Nah, that was McGlynn throwing himself on the ground.
I don't know. We get a tie. There was other chances that maybe could have put in. The offsides wasn't the only not goal of the night, So you take them as you get them. I'm happy to have 4 points in 2 road games. We're notoriously bad against Colorado. I'll always take a point against Colorado. We're on pace to do some good stuff, and I'm curious how this team plays at home because historically Dallas always tends to feel pretty good at home. So I'm feeling good.
I mean, it's cliche, but nonetheless, if you can be 500 on the road and anything near 6 out of 10 at home, you're good to go.
Oh, you're going to make playoffs easy. Yeah.
So I'm still sticking with my knocking on the door of home field advantage.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Actually,
when we play a little bit more stout competition, and then I'll be able to make a better prediction after we play someone stout, because we got Colorado on a three-game week, basically. We got Houston, who's a completely different team and definitely haven't built much chemistry yet either. I'm waiting to play a stiffer team before I totally commit, but I'm feeling pretty good about pushing that 5th spot or something.
Looking forward to next week. Do we think Chicago is that tougher team?
I really don't.
They're one loss, 1 draw, so not really.
I don't feel like Chicago's that great, at least right now. I think that they're there for the taking, personally.
Yeah.
Although they did they did tie to a freak goal this weekend. That was a beautiful kick. Anyway.
So here's so I know we were talking about home court advantage. advantage or home field, home pitch, whatever. What do you think about the home field advantage when the stadium's half empty?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have no idea how that's going to actually affect it, right? But I think from what we understand, at least groups like Freakonomics have done studies on home field advantage and how it works and why it exists.
Yeah.
And the truth about home field advantage, part of it is comfort playing at home, but the other one is the referee makes more calls in your favor because they hear the crowd yelling more. That we impact the referee. If we're loud enough, we're still going to have that effect, is what I think. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of getting loud, you guys got any plans for this weekend?
No. I think I'm gonna be at home. Wait, anyway. So I think our tradition.
I think I'll have a nice warm glass of milk on Friday night, and
I might do that anyway, so I'm still in shape for Saturday rather.
Yeah, go to bed early. No, wait. So this is our yearly tradition. I'm glad to be presiding over this for the second year in a row. I've attended, I don't know, 6 or 7 of these at this point. It's a tradition like none other, as they say. So 24-hour tailgates, red lots, our usual spot right in the wedge. We're gonna be there. I think it officially starts at 7. We should be sending out emails and text messages Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
Reminder Friday, probably. Well, yeah, Thursday, because the event starts on Friday. So we will be there. We'll have tents. We'll have games. I'm bringing a TV. Yep, community beer sponsor. Yes. I was actually.
There will be beer, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, we're a drinking club according to some people. So yes, we will have events. We'll have Django. We'll have beer. We'll have music. We'll have smoke. Actually, hopefully, it comes in time. We'll
Maybe
have
even fire.
Well, no, I'm talking about the colored smoke because I want to shoot a promo with the new kit. So we gotta work on that. I also want to mention here that we also have for sale 2 signed jerseys from our 2-star players that will be on sale. Will be
These are for sale to members only, correct?
Yes. So I think it's a $10 membership, which most people will be. You can even show up at the tailgate and just hand us $10. That works as well.
Make sure you get a receipt. Don't give it to Hubert.
Don't get fair enough. But yeah, so we'll have them at the tailgate. Probably. There's actually a third for Victor Uo, the homegrown legend, who ended his career playing with Messi of all people. So
wild
way to run.
Could have never predicted that. That was insane.
I know, right? At the time.
What a trajectory. Marcus, do we know if Brimstone Cup's going to be at 24-hour tailgate at all?
She's landing Saturday morning, so it'll be there for the regular tailgate.
That is Section 8 from Chicago bringing that down?
Yes.
Cool. Shout out to them.
I don't know how many are traveling. I know the one individual who's bringing it with.
Is it Carrie? Carly?
I believe so.
Carrie?
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, it should be a fun time.
Listen, we welcome all opposing supporters to our tailgate.
Oh no, everyone's
orange.
This is not just a Dallas Bear Guardians event. This is a supporters event. Everyone's welcome. We don't ask
unless you're wearing orange.
It depends. If it's long orange, we might let it rock.
Maybe. Even then, we got to check you at the door.
Fair enough. But yeah, so we'll have tents. People will be staying overnight. So if you bring
tents I will be camping.
Yes.
Come camp with me.
Yeah.
There'll be tents on the grass.
Yeah.
Safety in numbers.
I will be in a hotel room on the other side of the parking lot, but I will be out there very late and I will be back out there very early. But
yes.
my old body needs a bed to sleep in.
Yeah. So I think I'll be there because I'm actually calling out. I just remembered I had to change my schedule. So I'll be there around 5.
Marcus's boss doesn't watch this podcast.
No, he already knows.
I'll be calling out sick at 4 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I say call out sick, I just won't be at work. But yeah, I'll be there at 5. I'm getting the kegs. We'll have the tents set up. Yeah, so it should be good. Austin and Matt should be bringing food around 7-ish.
Yeah, I don't know if the menu's confirmed, but I've heard brisket tacos. I've heard Chicago dogs. I've heard Chicago beef sandwiches. So lots of
Italian
food
beef.
Be there. Chicago beef, Italian beef. Go to Portillo's, see what they call it. I don't know.
They call it Italian beef.
Okay, well,
and so does my wife, who's from Chicago.
Okay, all right. I stand corrected. Excuse me.
My apologies, sir.
My apologies to the entire state of Illinois.
Just Chicago. Just Chicago.
Yeah, the rest of them don't really care. But yeah, no, it's going to be a hell of an event.
We got a tifo that'll be painted there as well. We're working on. Stay tuned to our social media because we're working on getting some info out about when tracing will happen this week. But we'll be able to paint it out there Friday. So if you guys want to come out, help paint that, we can use all the help we can get on that. Want to be there early? Come help us set up. We appreciate any help we can get from our membership. And if you're interested in being a member, check out the Dallas Beer Guardians website or our social media, or just come hang out with us, talk to us. Like Marcus just mentioned. Basic membership is $10. Get you a cool little card that gets you get discount at some of our partners, including Community Beer. Anytime you're down there, it's 10% off.
Yep, 10% off the Community Beer.
And we've got Derbyshire Pub has become a new, or the Derbyshire, my apologies, has become a excellent partner. Again, shout out to them. We had an incredible watch party. That new patio out there is going to be a great little section for us, especially when the weather gets warm. I think it's going to be really nice in there, and with the air on and nice and cold, and multiple TVs. And the staff was incredible. So again, if you're in the neighborhood, if you're up in Frisco, check out Derbyshire. If you're downtown, check out Community. Please support our partners and tell them that we sent you.
Yeah,
it means a lot to us.
It helps if you wear their gear. They also know that we will help you. Yeah, but it'll be great. We'll have non-alcoholic options as well, just for everyone. Yeah, there will be stuff for you to drink, eat, and enjoy. We're gonna have a FIFA tournament.
Do we have coffee? Hubert, you're the coffee guy. We have coffee for Saturday morning?
Usually I run over to Lemma and I'll get a little carrier of it or something for people. Usually goes pretty quickly too. If we're lucky, Kenny Cooper usually comes by with some donuts as well. So in the morning,
shout out Kenny.
We have some. We may or may not.
Don't have to drink beer if you don't want to.
Yes,
absolutely.
It's not a it is not a prerequisite that you're an alcoholic. It just helps.
Yeah, especially when the team's really bad, it helps. But
it just helps. So we look forward to that. We call it 24 hours, but you can come and go as you like. Most of leadership will be there except for Dennis because he's a mattress queen.
I'll be there most of the night. I just, like I said, I'm not sleeping on the ground. I'm old.
We'll have soccer games on too, probably some J League and stuff. So even if you just want to come experience some soccer, come watch J League with us.
We'll have some games going on outside. We got the nets up, so we'll have a little kick around game. Maybe we'll get a little 3-a-side going.
Yes, I think the weather. Have we checked the weather this week?
Yeah, I think Saturday is supposed to be high in either the low 60s, in the high 60s or the low 70s, and the low is going to be upper 40s. I can't remember, something like that. Warmer than it's been. Let's go with that.
Oh,
let's do the Frisco weather report.
What is going on here? Friday high of 77, Saturday high of 60. Why is it we can never get good weather for this?
Maybe it's a start in 2 weeks later.
Yeah, and it's still better weather than we had last year. It was.
Yes, it is.
40.
We're also still 5 days out, so the weather can absolutely change.
Yeah, give it a minute. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to Friday. It doesn't look like we have much rain in the forecast for the after this week. So
yeah, I think we will have shelter either way. There will be tents, places for you to sit, things for you to do. Come join us. All the leadership will have name tags, which is in my car. I was going to show in a moment, but so there'll be stuff. This is our big event. We're really happy to host this every year, to support supporters culture. It's a melting pot between all the groups. Everyone will come out. I know there's an image that there's some differences between us, but at the end of the day, we're all fans of this team. Win, lose, or draw, as they say. So I want to invite everyone, as the current president, to come out and join us. And I know everybody else expresses that same sentiment.
And
if you have any questions, just reach out on social media. And
I'll say this too, right? The other supporters groups from FC Dallas will be there too. Come meet them, see what they're about too. Maybe we're not your tribe, but maybe they are, right? Maybe they're your clique, they're your crew. Come out, support a supporters group. Being a part of supporters group gives you a voice as a fan for this team. We get to talk with the front office. We get to tell the club what we expect as a group, and so you get your voice heard there, regardless of what group you're in. It's a good time, right? You don't have to sit in the supporter section either, right?
Yeah.
Sit in another part of the stadium. Come hang out, tailgate with the groups, go in and take the voice that we bring, take the noise that we make, take it back to your section, make noise in your section too. Let's get the stadium rocking. We're operating with half a stadium this season. We need to get it rocking.
For sure. And I want to thank both of you gentlemen for being here. We're going to try to do a rotating schedule going forward. I think we discussed that. So that might involve us doing it on Sunday instead of Mondays so that we can actually get people who don't work from home to to join. But for sure, it'll be fun. It has been fun. I think the reception has been relatively good, and it'll only get better, I promise.
All right. So once again, 24-hour tailgate, Toyota Stadium, red parking lot off World Cup Way and Main Street. We will be out there. Official start time is 7 p.m. this Friday, March 7th. We will be out there all night, all day the next day, and we will be marching in right before kickoff. And we will hopefully be able to bring the Brimstone Cup back to Dallas, where it will reside for some time. And we can put it up on the mantle with Copa Tejas, with El Capitan, and I think it's going to look real good up there with the rest of them. What do you guys think?
Well, Lord knows we're not winning any other silverware. It feels like so.
Hey now, look, we're towards the top of the table. We got a share of fifth place. Share.
Sure, I don't even remember.
Did we do that last? Did we do that last pod? Where do we think we would get in the West?
I think we did that on the first one.
I think I said fifth.
That one
I can't remember.
That one never went out for.
Okay, so once again. Real quick, as we wrap up here, I'll go first, but I think we're going to be fifth place, maybe knocking on the door of fourth by decision day.
Yes, I think what we discussed last time was whether or not we got a home playoff game. So that's fourth and above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I do think we get fourth and above. I think I'm looking at this. The Galaxy aren't what they were. San Diego's better than we thought they were, but we'll see how the season goes. So I think we can definitely be fifth or fourth, and I'm aiming for fourth. What do you think, Hubert?
I don't think we get a home playoff, but when did I become the cynic? That's weird.
Yes,
I think I might have said I thought we could do as good as fifth, but I think as low as seventh. I would say between those 7 and 5th.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see around July when the heat hits us and what we do. But anyway, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. We will be doing this again, hopefully for another victory pod.
Let's go
next week. Hopefully with a special guest in the fourth square in the corner. So
circle gets the square, and that's a wrap.